It is. It's odd. It's an odd thing.
Or maybe I'm old.
Well, that too.
Maybe 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Wow, look at Nate.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What's
Wow.
up with that?
that is impressive.
Did you have a hot date today?
No,
Tonight.
I figured this is the last one I'm going to be doing at home for a while because we're going to go on the road soon. So
Oh boy.
I might as
Okay.
well kind of show up for it.
There you go. Very nice.
Thank you.
I haven't seen Chris for a long time, Chris. You're looking good, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the lie. I appreciate it.
I'm not gonna punish you guys by seeing me.
Hey, and look at this. Rod figured out how to get on here without help.
Hey, thanks. Yes, I did.
I figured it would take you a while.
I think I'm finally figuring it out.
That's only 6 times.
Till next week.
Yeah, till next week. I fucking can't remember how to get on here. Like a dumbass.
I see Nate writing stuff down. You look so official.
Thank you.
Right?
I
In your
feel like a mediator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I just see this now. Fuck, I'm underdressed. Holy shit. What else is new?
You are underdressed. You look like a Pennywise.
Well, mainly the thing was I wanted to wear my Punk Rock Saves Live shirt, and then it's at like the bottom of my bag that I've packed. So I would have to unpack everything just to get to it, and I really didn't feel like doing that.
Where are you going? Are you going on a trip or something?
Somewhere, yeah.
Cool. I see a fucking duck. What the hell is going on down there, Den Man?
Happening.
The fuck?
What is happening?
How do you make a duck appear?
What the hell is that?
You can hit that right thing that says open soundboard.
All right, hold on. Let's everybody play with this for a minute. Where's this at?
So above your name in the left, bottom left, there's like turn on camera, share your screen, start an activity, and then there's open soundboard. And then you can. So now we can add.
Uh-oh.
We can do.
Oh, lost
Soundboard
Rod.
killed Rod.
Okay,
Holy
he's back.
We heard the soundboard and Rod broke.
He turned it off.
I fucking did the wrong button, obviously.
It's the one on the right with the
It is the
music.
one. I ain't touching nothing.
Me neither. I'm going to go.
Fuck
Rod,
that.
Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah.
Fuck technology. Fuck authority.
No,
You
different
just wrote a
Pennywise song
song, dude.
was nominated this week.
You
Are
just
those-
wrote a song.
Notes and shit this week.
Oh, you took notes.
I had to. Double week, man. I'm too old for this shit.
I know. I got them all mixed up earlier this week, too.
Yeah, all right. So let's do the first round first.
Let's do that. Let's get to it.
Let's do it one round at a time here.
So let me see if I get. I know what you're doing. We're going to do in the first round of 5,
Right?
then the second round of 5.
Yes.
That'll give us 6 total winners. From week to week, or right. So then we got to figure out which one wins from there,
Yeah.
and that becomes our inaugural champion.
Yes. And then also nominate songs for next week.
Ooh, it's a big show.
I know. This is like a
Yeah, we might have to cut speed rounds for today.
I have a speed round that we have to do.
no. You
speed round.
All right, I have one too. So
by definition, it's a speed round.
yeah, it should be fast. Okay.
All right.
So for the first half, I
Get in the
nominated "The Sound of Silence" by Simon and Garfunkel. Rod.
Yes, I nominated. What I nominated? Amazing Grace on this first one. By whoever.
by whoever.
Let me say this. Okay, let me start first of all.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear Lord, I nominated Amazing Grace, and these guys are going to make me pick against my own song. I'm not going to pick Dear Lord, Baby Jesus. I'm not picking against you and Amazing Grace. I'm going to pick in conjunction with the song because I'm trying to get right with Jesus because I'm getting older. And Dear Baby Jesus, forgive these guys if they don't pick my song. I guess you can forgive them, maybe not. I mean, you guys got to get right with the Lord on your own. I wouldn't pick against Amazing Grace, but I'm just saying.
I'm
I picked
17. I got a
Amazing
lot of
Grace.
time.
I picked Amazing Grace. You never know.
You never know. That's right.
Amazing Grace by Elvis in the World. I don't know. Dear Lord, Baby Jesus, Amazing Grace. Now who's next?
Hey,
Oh, nice.
Matching mugs.
I don't have a matching mug. I have a Steelers little thing.
I've got a
Well,
old
this is a Den Man gift.
That's a dead man gift.
We went to Hershey. I'm going there again this Labor Day weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
Anyway,
you guys get some more matching.
That's right. More matching mugs.
We use them. I definitely use them.
Clearly.
All right, here we go. Who's next?
you pick. Bounce to somebody.
Oh, I'll go with Chris.
Chris? All right. For me, I picked A Girl Like You by the Smithereens, which is a really, I don't know, it's one of those catchy tunes that comes on the radio and you're just like, you're all of a sudden, Girl Like You. It's just it's a great tune. I mean, it's one of those ones that wasn't super popular, was a hit for them, but I mean, it wasn't like, but it's like, I don't even think it was in the top 10. I don't think I know it was in the charted, but how high it charted, I have no clue. But it's just one of those great tunes that just comes on the radio and you know what it is immediately. And it's not one of the ones that are just completely overplayed. It's just every time you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, you welcome hearing it. So that's a silent mark of a good song, a great song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me go to Mr. Richard. I will go to Richard.
All right. I nominated 16th Avenue by Lacey J. Belton, if I'm getting this correct. Because, like I said, all this jumbled in my head.
You are correct.
Am I supposed to defend my song now by threatening eternal damnation if people don't pick it? Like the man did?
I mean, you can.
Exactly.
I'll save that momentarily, but I will say it's a great songwriter's song. And then
Crickets.
Oh shit. Well,
All right. Guess it's Dead Man's turn. I don't know.
Well, I chose a Demon Hunter song called "I Am a Stone," and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, that's a little over 10 years ago now, and I've been like on and off with them for, I guess, since the early 2000s. Like I really love them. Then I'll forget about them for a while, and then I'll really get into them, and I'm in one of those phases again. But I love the lyrics of that song. I just love how it's done, and I love the vocals, the way they do that, some of the harmonies that are in there, and I think it's a great song. So I wanted to share that with you guys so you can enjoy it too.
Yeah.
I agree. That's an awesome song.
yeah, I like.
There's something about it. Like, I listen to it, and the violin riff that's played over and over is basically the same thing, but somehow it feels like it's building and getting more dramatic, despite not really changing that much. I think that's a really impressive thing to do.
Yeah, that's just a great tune. It's my favorite by them.
Yeah, I think also I'm a sucker for violins just in general. I love the way they sound.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
Who isn't a for a violin?
I don't know, maybe the guy that nominated Amazing Grace.
Oh, that, if you ever hear that violin, man.
Okay, Hear
The
me out.
violin is baby Jesus' favorite instrument. So whatever, you do what you got to do. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Baby Jesus.
Amazing Grace.
I'm just saying, if baby Jesus was in the band, he'd be playing the violin, baby Jesus. Amen. I don't know. Here's the
He'd
baby
be the lead
Jesus.
singer.
He'll be what he wants, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, Amazing Grace, to me, believe it or not, has a very similar downfall to YMCA. You don't go search it out. Right? Amazing Grace
True.
is not a song you're going to go listen to on a Wednesday night. It's not on your playlist. If we were to have we as a society were to have taken something like When the Saints Go Marching In, and we played that at all of the funerals, Amazing Grace is just something that kind of gets forgotten about by the wayside of a bunch of other gospel songs. Musically, it's just okay.
Wow.
Where
He's wrong.
may God have mercy on your soul, mate.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it.
He's wrong.
Sorry.
He's wrong.
Just
Hey,
leave
you're entitled to your own wrong opinion on this show. Yes, sir. I'll drink to your wrong opinion.
Yeah, should have been what we called it, entitled to your wrong opinion.
You're entitled to your.
That is
Yeah.
a good one.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll take it from here as far as Amazing Grace is concerned. And for me, it's going to fall into the same category as the Beethoven song. It really doesn't factor in here into my into a song that should be considered. It's a ubiquitous song. Yes, everybody knows what it is, but as far as greatest songs in the world, it's one of those songs you know about. But again, I have to go with Nate on that one. You're not going to go, what song am I going to play on my? Oh, I know. I'm going to play Amazing Grace. It just doesn't happen. Same with the Beethoven song. No one goes, oh, let me throw that song on the turntable. And it's like YMCA. Oh, let me throw YMCA on. It's just not happening. It's just not gonna happen. You hear it on the radio, or you hear it. You go to the symphony, or you go to see a play or something like that. Okay, yeah, I get it. Great, it's a good tune in that sense, yes, but it's not. It doesn't have any place again in this competition. Sorry, Rod, but it's fact.
No.
You're wrong.
But Rod, here's the thing: the fact that you can't pick the artist
Yeah.
who sings it.
John
Okay.
Nedrow wrote it, 1772.
Okay,
Wait, who did?
I believe your words are by anybody.
Well, you can
Yeah.
listen to it by anybody. It's a beautiful song, no matter who does it.
You can't narrow it down to one artist who did it the best.
Doesn't matter. That does not matter one bit in this competition.
Rod,
It's a great song that great artists and shitty artists have done, and it's still a great song. Even if Motley Crue did it, it would be a great song.
Don't get crazy.
No, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure you can find a couple of bands that would massacre Amazing
Well,
Grace.
the only thing is Nikki Sixx wouldn't be playing on it because he doesn't play on any of the Motley Crue songs apparently. That's
Oh my!
actually, if it's true, who actually played it? I don't know if you people heard this yet or not, but the woman who played, woman who did the sessions, played for Nikki Sixx on their albums, is the great Carol Kay. Does anybody know who that is?
No.
I guarantee you heard all of her work. Anything you heard from the 60s. You ever hear the Wrecking Crew?
Is she like a puppeteer?
No. So if you've listened to Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys or any of their albums,
Yeah.
you've heard her play. If you want to see a great documentary, look up the Wrecking Crew. This was a group of musicians in Los Angeles. You listen to the Monkees, you listen to the Everly Brothers, you listen to the Beach Boys, you listen to just about any band from the 60s. It's not that band, it's the Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, any of those bands, they basically, these were the singers sang and the players played live. But as far as the albums were concerned, none of them played it. There was a drummer, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but basically he's all of my favorite drummers from the 1960s. He started naming off bands and stuff. I was devastated to find out it was the same guy. He played on all the albums. So his favorite was basically this drummer. So I can't think of the name of the guy, but yeah. So she supposedly, according to Carmen Appice, Mr. What's the name of that band he was in? With the blonde haired people, King Cobra, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
King Cobra, right? Okay. Plus a bunch of other stuff, Ozzy, and you name it. Anyways, according to him, that's who played on all the Motley Crue albums.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yep.
That's wrong.
My favorite thing is whenever she's teaching Gene Simmons how to play a song.
Yes, I saw that clip before.
You saw
That's
that
funny.
clip? Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So you know who I'm talking about then?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know
She's
exactly
great.
what you're talking about.
Fucking great bass player. I mean,
Great bass player, yes.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That is wild, dude.
Yep.
Can she play Amazing Grace?
She's almost as old as
Probably
Amazing
is.
Grace.
Probably
She was on the recording.
I get if Elvis if Elvis sang that song, I guarantee she played on that album.
Elvis, the fucking king of rock and roll, did that song because it's so fucking great. Not in this room, but okay.
It doesn't fit to me. It
doesn't
really
fit.
Doesn't.
It doesn't fit.
It's exactly what this show is about.
Oh,
Exactly what this show is.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Question.
That is complete. I'm sorry. He says that's what this show is about, and I will disagree completely. This show is not about that at all.
Great song.
Question.
I have the what this. I believe me. I delved deep into this week, and because I was wondering why the fuck would Rich pick YMCA? Why in the world would he pick that song?
Keep going back to that.
Why? Okay. Why in the world would Nate pick Beethoven? Why in the world would Rod pick Amazing Grace? It's like there. So here's the dichotomy. I'm sorry I have to go on this tangent, but I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks.
Oh, geez.
All right.
Okay. There's a difference between the greatest song of all time and the most popular song of all time. Popularity, okay, is quantifiable. You can look and say, how many albums did it sell? Okay, YMCA, popular song, sold a lot of albums. It's on the radio, plays Amazing Grace. Same thing, popular song, sold a lot of copies by whatever artist you want to choose. Beethoven sells out symphonies constantly. It's a popular song. It's quantifiable by how many tickets it sells. The greatest song of all time is subjective. It's subjective to the person who is thinking about it. Okay, popularity and greatest song of all time are two completely different things.
Thank you.
And Nate goes, thank you.
Thank you, God. Because the way I see it, if your argument is like a dish that you're cooking, right? So the idea of popularity, to me, feels like a seasoning or like salt or something, where yes, if you add it into this argument, it makes the argument a little bit better, but it doesn't stand on its own as an argument. You can't just have salt as a dish. Right, and I feel like that's where a lot of the legs for Amazing Grace come. Because, Rod, I do have a question for you. If it wasn't
You're wrong.
played,
I'm going to say you're wrong.
Yeah, he's gonna say it. But
You're wrong.
if I do have a question for you. If it wasn't played at every funeral you've been to, do you still nominate that song?
Yes, it's still a great song. It's still a great song. The
disagree.
words are great.
It's a popular song.
beautiful
It's a popular
song.
song.
It's a beautiful song. I don't care about popularity. I don't give a shit about that. I listen to the
I'll give
song.
you that. It's a popular song.
It's a
So then
popular
why
song. I
didn't
don't
you-
mean shit.
Why didn't you nominate the what is it, Angel's Wings or whatever, the song from the ASPCA commercial?
That's a great song.
Right,
It
that
could come up.
Arguably, that's equivalent to Amazing Grace musically, but you went with
But
Amazing Grace because Amazing
it's a
Grace is
great
ingrained
song.
in systems of society.
So it makes it a great song because
No.
it's been around since 1772,
No,
and
it
a
does
shitty
not.
song wouldn't last in 1770 fucking two. It has to be good to a certain extent.
Longevity does not equal greatness.
Yes.
It has to be
Great.
good
No.
to have lasted. For
Oh,
some
I-
reason,
You could
it's
have a
good.
backup punter
to
play
some
for
people.
25
Rick-
years in the
Rick, I'm
NFL.
sorry. Rich, I'm so sorry. I threw you under the bus with
There we go.
YMCA.
I
But-
know.
Okay, I did wear something to honor you in one of your songs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I hope that makes up for my bad words. Sorry, I apologize. See,
You know,
man,
I gotta say, I understand where Rod's coming from with Amazing Grace.
oh, I
'Cause
understand.
That's the argument you posed for YMCA.
I completely get it.
But
it's a great song. It has nothing to do with being popular to me. I think it's just a great song. I think there's the High Mountain, whatever the hell it is by Vince Gill that could come up is a great song. It's also can be looked at as a funeral song. Over the Mountain, or I can't figure out what the fuck name of that song is. If it's a great song, I don't give a shit if it was as popular as Amazing Grace. It's a great song.
Right. That's subjective.
Okay, well that's what we're picking. What we think are great songs.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the show.
So what I'm talking about is, for me, as a subjective thing, it doesn't have a place in here. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? All right?
Yeah.
Subjectively, for me, it
Yes,
doesn't have a place.
I get that.
Okay. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I'm not saying for you that's not a great song. I get it. Completely do. Understand it. I like the song. Don't hate the song. I mean, I get the song Amazing Grace in my head, and I get flashbacks to being in the freaking military because I heard that song so many times doing like just the whole services. It's like, I'm proud to be an American where at least I know I'm free. Just all those
Lee Greenwood.
patriotic songs, and it's like, oh God, please not again. It just that's where it stands with me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like, I'm proud to be Americans. I think it's a good song. Lee Greenwood's a good song. It's just like, it's popular. Okay, get it. You know what I mean? Just subjectively for me, no. Just it.
That's going to be between you all and baby Jesus. Good luck.
Oh,
So what you're saying-
I've made my comeuppances in terms with baby Jesus many years ago.
But what you're saying is we don't have
and I
rules.
had long conversations about, you don't want me getting. Nope, I'm gonna stop right there. You don't want me to get started on religion. Just don't want that to happen.
Anybody want to bash any other songs except for mine, for fuck's sakes?
wait a minute. Dead Man was something.
I was saying, so you're saying there's no rules and no guidelines, though. So we never set those.
No, I mean,
Unique.
he is fair, just like Rich was fair to nominate YMCA.
Right.
He's
That's still
fair
That's
to nominate that Amazing Grace. No, I don't have an issue with it. Don't have an issue with it. Same with Nate and his Beethoven song. Don't have an issue with it. From my subjective point of view, okay, from Nate's subjective point of view, it doesn't have a place in the greatest song. That's all. That's just a subjective thing. Okay. In my arguments, I'm not going to list Amazing Grace as some of my greatest songs of all time. Do I think it's a popular song? Of course I do. I'm not gonna debate that. YMCA is a popular song. Same. It's like it comes on the radio and dance floor and you go, oh yeah, I heard that a million times. You know it. It's ingrained in your psyche. Get it? Not a problem. But from a subjective point of view, for me, and it might be it's different for Rod, it's different for Rich, different for Nate, it's different for Den Man. Okay, I just personally don't feel it has an argument for being the greatest of all time. That's all. I think it's more of a popularity thing than anything because it's been around forever. Because
Learn
people
your
know
lesson.
Yeah.
Rod, did you learn your lesson?
No, not at all. Nope, that don't sway me for shit.
Yeah, after this, he's nominating the Star Spangled Banner.
Amen.
Oh
Okay.
boy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start like giving ones and twos out here.
Yeah. I will say that I generally agree with Rod on Amazing Grace, despite him bashing Joy Division last time. Yeah, I know. There you go, Tin Man. But it's not. It's obviously the best song is 16th Avenue by Lacey J. Dalton. But it's a great song about songwriters and singers. But if I had to pick, the two that really stuck with me were The Sounds of Silence and I Am a Stone, which I was surprised by because that's not what I expected when I first started listening to it. I didn't expect it to be what it was, especially with the band called Demon Hunter. I really thought this is going to be I thought I was getting 13 minutes of metal, that kind of.
Some of their stuff is like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I think number one though would be Sounds of Silence, but I'm not sure that's. It might only be because.
I don't know why, because that's a popular song. So I don't know why you do that just because it's popular and people have heard it. It's been around a long time. The mix is pretty stupid on it, but I mean, whatever. That's cool. Hold on, sure baby Jesus likes Simon and Garfunkel, but go ahead.
Jesus loves Simon and Garfunkel. But I gotta say that, I know that I think my vote would change over time to I Am a Stone because I don't have that time with it yet. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And I know that's a trap in this. That what we're doing is because if you nominate something that everybody else hasn't heard, it might be a great song, but you don't have that. Like I said, you don't have that time with it. Yeah. So. For me, it's Sounds of Silence and I Am a Stone, but it's almost more like a 1A and 1B. It's that close. So but of course, 16th Avenue is the best song because Baby Jesus wanted to be a songwriter and he went to Nashville.
All right, so my number one is going to be Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. I grew up on that song. I really, really. Simon and Garfunkel were one of my faves back in the day. Paul Simon is definitely still one of my faves. I can't, Coda Crime's one of the great song, but the two of their voices together is like heaven almost. I mean, literally, they were perfectly matched, and one of my. So I'm, as everyone knows, I'm in film school. And there is the Graduate. I'm not sure if but that's the Dustin Hoffman movie where it says, I think you're trying to seduce me, Mrs. Robinson. Simon and Garfunkel did the entire soundtrack for that movie. Every song in that is a Simon and Garfunkel song. Phenomenal. It just thinks, but the Sound of Silence is so. I don't know. I think it's such a statement by lyrically. What is the Sound of Silence? It's like it's powerful, completely powerful. So I have to pick that one. If I was going to pick number 2, I'm a Stone. Really enjoyed that tune. Not what I expected again. Whenever you say completely didn't expect it, was like, oh, that's pretty damn good. It's one of those. It's like Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence. It's not as good as the original, obviously, but you're like, it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's really, really good. For me, 3 is going to have to be. Sorry, Rich. It's Amazing Grace. For I 16th Avenue is just not my thing. She's got a great voice. I've listened to her. I listened to it, the recorded version of it. I listened to the live version of it. She's in this. Looks like she's in this Tammy Faye Baker group of religious fanatics singing the song, going from person to person. It looks like a gospel or whatever. I don't know. It's just completely just like, oh, that's a cult song. It did nothing for me, Rich. I'm sorry. I apologize.
My streak continues.
No. I just literally it's just not my thing. I played in a country band in Oklahoma when I was in the service, and there's so many better country songs out there. I could just go down the list as far as that's concerned. Just not my thing. I apologize again. Look.
Yeah, that's right, Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Go back to Johnny Cash.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Who are you bouncing it to?
Let me bounce it to. Let's go to Dead Man.
All right. I had to pick A Girl Like You by the Smithereens. That to me it's a classic. And I'll never forget when that first came out and hearing it again hearing it the first time. And it's one of those songs, like, I actually did forget about it until Chris mentioned it. And it brought back a lot of good memories. And they're a good band. I mean, the Smithereens were very good. And that was a great song. That was fantastic. So that's got to be my number 1. My number 2 is going to be Sounds of Silence. And not that I like it, but it's a pretty iconic song. It's pretty iconic. And, so.
That doesn't mean shit here.
It doesn't. Because, and that's why number 3 is Amazing Grace, because of it's so iconic. And unfortunately, I did struggle trying to listen to 16th Avenue.
There we go. There we are.
I'm sorry, brother, but
That's
that was like not a good song.
I didn't go that far. Didn't say it's not a good song. It's just not my thing. That's all. Just not me.
Really well.
Sorry, dude, but yeah, it was rough.
Oh, all right.
We'll see what Rod has to say now.
All right. Well, here's what I have to say. You're all fucking wrong, but wow.
Hey, hold on. There's a moratorium right now on using the phrase "baby Jesus." You're done.
I think I burned it up. I think I burned the bridge with the baby Jesus bridge. That's all on you boys. I'm still voting with the baby Jesus song. I don't care. Lord, forgive this group. Forgive this group of I don't know what you want to call it.
Word moratorium.
Heathens. I don't even know how to spell it. I don't know what the hell it means. Okay, let's get to this.
You atheists.
Okay. I would say I think all these songs are good songs. Okay. Obviously. I think I'm going to go on the number 4 song. I'm going with I Am a Stone because I love the way it is and I love everything that's going on in it. But like you said, it's a bad thing about this is like I haven't had enough time with it. Like it's 10 years old and I just heard it for the first time 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I think I could like it more later. And I got to agree. I thought this was going to turn into a Rat song. I was just waiting the whole time for like, I was just waiting for that to kick in. And it didn't, I was glad it didn't. So 3, I'm going to go with 16th Avenue, so it's a 3, Rich. It's
I'll take it.
Not 4th.
It's not 4th, so it's a win. This is a win. I love the message of the song. I love the words of the song. I mean, it is in that country, that used 3-chord country thing. That's, it's the same thing Johnny Cash, just a different key or whatever. But it's the same. But it's a great song. I get where you came from lyrically with that. It makes a lot of sense. I get that. So where am I at?
2.
2. Number 2, I would have to put The Sound of Silence at number 2.
Ooh.
Man, and I can use all the same arguments against my song as I can for this song, but why do it? Because you all know this argument. You gave them to me. You could use the same ones for this song, but it's still a great song. Now, if you got to listen to the mix on this song a minute, when I get my earbuds in, like all the drums and the bass are over here, and like the guitars are over here. I don't know if you guys listen to it in headphones.
Yeah.
You got to do it. It's fucking weird. It makes you want to get the guy who fucking mixed the song and punch him in the mouth. But anyway,
Agreed. That is the
Well,
worst
the
part of The
headphones.
Sound of Silence is the mix.
it's like what? But I appreciate like the noise and at the very beginning. You can hear like them like getting ready to sing that. Like it's like not edited. It's raw and shit. That's cool. I like that. But man, A Girl Like You is just a song I just love.
I know.
And I wouldn't seek out The Sound of Silence. I wouldn't seek that song out like you guys wouldn't seek out Amazing Grace. I would seek out A Girl Like You though. Like that's just a great. The snare sounds good, Rich.
Oh, here he goes from Jesus.
The guy isn't mumbling like he's eating M&Ms.
Okay.
It's a great guitar sounds. Great. It's just a groove there. It's just, and I haven't heard that song in a long time. So that'd be with my Amazing Grace, Dear Lord, Baby Jesus, one more time. I'm not going to pick against you. It'd be A Girl Like You by the Smithereens.
All right, Nate.
All right.
I'm glad someone else caught the mix on that song, though. Thank you. Thank God.
God,
I know it's old.
Horrible.
I know it's old and they did shit weird, but man, whew.
Yeah.
So we have a tie. I hope you guys know.
No?
Yeah.
I mean,
Nope, it's not a tie.
not really.
Nate's got to break it.
I mean,
because we have 2 Sounds of Silence and 2 Girl Like You #1s.
Well, but The Sound of Silence also has 2 seconds.
True.
Seconds don't matter.
Second doesn't matter.
Right.
Seconds
Hasn't
don't matter.
decided that? Then why are we doing any of the top 4? Why are we doing the entire top 4 then?
For fun.
It's cool to look at. It's cool to see Rich's songs at the bottom every week.
It's cool. It's fun to watch.
All right.
Well,
Well,
okay, bam. Joy Division, bam. Let's J. Dalton, bam.
To me, some of the songs here were a little off for me. Like I didn't really connect with A Girl Like You personally. It's not a bad song, but it just didn't feel like, I know you guys, a lot of you have that nostalgic connection to it. I just don't have that. So it didn't ring as true for me as I guess it did for some of you. So realistically, that one's probably 4th for me. 3rd, I would have had Amazing Grace. Because, like I said, as good as it is, it doesn't feel like it's what we're trying to do here. And it just feels like if it weren't played at funerals, I wouldn't know the song. It would just be something that I hear at a church on Sunday, and then I kind of just forget about. It'd be something that I go, oh, that was really good, but I wouldn't go into it more. I wouldn't look for it. 16th Avenue is probably going to ending up as my number 2, but I do have to say I'm a little underwhelmed. Because when my father introduced it to me, he said, it's one of the few songs that when I listen to it gives me chills, and like the lyrics about songwriting are beautiful, and they are excellent, but to me there are tiers between excellent and legendary, and it didn't jump that tier. Which is why I Am a Stone by Demon Hunter ended up.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I loved the way the violins basically didn't change, but still became more and more dramatic throughout the song.
Yep.
So
Okay. Yes, sir.
So now the second place might come into play, right?
Yep. Second place
Yeah.
does come into play.
Yeah. Because we've got
Okay.
a tie
Yeah.
Yes.
between The Sound of Silence and A Girl Like You. But what if it was just those two songs?
Wait a minute. Rich and Chris both said Sound of Silence, right? Rod and
I
Denman
did.
both said Girl Like You. I would have to vote for Girl Like You because my song is The Sound of Silence.
That's
Well, no,
true. Yeah.
but this happened one time before.
Yeah, but that one was a weird one. It wasn't his song. It wasn't the tiebreaker song.
Yeah.
It wasn't the tiebreaker song that he could vote for because he can't. I have to go with Nate on this one. You
Yeah,
gotta
wait a
do the
minute. Wait a
number
minute. Okay.
two.
Yeah.
Whatever, how many number twos?
Yeah,
So
okay. So we're
that's
going to go
gonna be the tiebreaker.
off of second
in
place
my opinion.
finishes, The Sound of Silence would win because The Sound of Silence has 2 second place finishes and Girl Like You has nothing outside of the 2 firsts.
Yep, I would have to
That's
agree with
why we
that.
did the whole list. I
What?
knew there was a.
That's why we do the whole list.
That's right. That's why we do the whole list.
Now we have a reason.
Okay, so the winner of this round,
Yeah?
play the theme song. Silence by Simon Garfunkel.
Yes.
And now, oh, good. Look, a little
Oh,
clap
yeah.
emoji. He gave us the clap. Yes, sir.
Dear Lord, have mercy on their souls. Move on to round 2, kids.
All right, so this is a big double bonus episode of the show.
Yeah,
so
this
we're
is a
doing
big double bonus. We have a billion things going on here.
So that second group, I nominated "Bro Hymn" by Pennywise.
Yes.
Chris, what did you nominate?
I nominated just like heaven, not the original Cure version, but the Watson twins version of it, which is little different. I know this one's not for everybody.
And I nominated Cult of Personality by Living Color.
I nominated Silent Lucidity by Queensryche.
And I nominated Toy Soldier by the Menzingers.
Okay, so I think just for the sake of expediency, "Bro Hymn" wins, and then we move to the next one.
I'm not opposed to that.
I'll go first.
You're wrong.
You're
wrong.
I know.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Let me go first. Then you guys can back on the Pennywise song. This one for me was kind of easy because it was Cult of Personality. I like Toy Soldier by the Menzingers. It's a good song, but it's not. It's not here. If that makes sense. I wasn't a big fan of the version of Just Like Heaven. I found myself wanting to hear the original version when I listened to it. Like each time, because we listened to it a few times, and each time I was like, man, I want to hear that. I want the original version. Silent Lucidity is a great song, but it's not as good as so for me, number one is Cult of Personality. I know, hit yourself with your clipboard. And then second would be Silent Lucidity. And then I'll throw it to Nate since you messed up the last one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going last.
So, I really found myself like just thinking about these before I listened to all of them. I thought it was between Cult of Personality and Bro Hymn, and I listened to all of them because I'd heard Silent Lucidity before, but
You're such a smart kid.
But I wasn't that familiar with Silent Lucidity. So listening to all of these, Silent Lucidity, every time I listened to these, it got further and further up that list.
Uh-oh.
So, number 1 is Brohim for me.
Yes!
Number 1 has to be Brohim. There's something about that song where it's fast-paced, it's heavy, but it still has this like emotional air to it, which I really like, that it retains the fundamental idea of the lyrics, even when the music is a little bit dissonant with that idea. I think it's phenomenal, and I've had some great personal experiences regarding that song, so I had to go with Brohim at number 1. And then, as I alluded to earlier, initially it was Cult of Personality at number 2, and then it was announced that CM Punk would be coming back, and Silent Lucidity immediately jumped it. I'm kidding.
CM Punk didn't write that song.
I'm kidding.
I think he did.
But
I think he did.
but genuinely listening to it, it was very narrow, and it was a very difficult decision, but I think I'm going to have to go with Silent Lucidity at number 2. Again, the same holds with I Am a Stone. I'm just a sucker for violins and orchestral stuff. As good as Cult of Personality is, it wouldn't be a surprise if we held this show tomorrow and I had Cult of Personality here instead of Silent Lucidity. I'm going to bounce it to Chris.
Okay, so I guess for me, this is probably going to surprise a lot of people. I would think, but Brohim's going to be my number 1.
Yes!
Yes!
Whoa, what's happening? Yes!
Yes!
As far as that's concerned, and then I'm going to have to go with Toy Soldier number 2. So Silent Lucidity is one of those songs that I like the tune, but it's one of those tunes that I've heard it too many times. I just can't do it.
You're wrong.
It comes on the radio, and I change the station. It's an immediate thing. Now, if you'd have picked "I Will Remember," okay,
No one would have gave a shit if I'd have picked I Would Remember. They would remember.
To me, that's a better tune by Queensryche. In again, subjective, But unfortunately, Silent Lucidity falls into that category for me. I'm changing the channel. It's not a bad tune. Not a bad tune. When I first came out, loved that song. It's just in the overplayed category for me. And my 4th one would have to be In Living Color. Never got Vernon Reid. Just his guitar playing annoys me. Can't do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right.
He was just never one of those, like that solo, and it's like, can you just no, can't do it. Can't do that song. I love the theme of the song. Don't get me wrong. The Cult of Personality. I mean, it's actually in the lyrics of that song. I'm writing a screenplay right now, and the lyrics of that song are an influence on what I'm writing. Okay, so the whole Cult of Personality things, John F. Kennedy, all that, just basically you create someone who's thinking freedom or wants to be, they kill them. It's just crazy. Like, if you're a free thinker, right? They find a way to destroy you. It just seems that way, and I think that's the theme of that song. Because who he goes through, like from Gandhi to the lyrics. I think, but Vernon Reid's guitar playing just annoys the fuck out of me. So I just can't. I can't do it. Just can't do it. No. Can't do it. Yeah. Sorry, Denman.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Like Rod said, you're allowed to be wrong.
Yep, I am.
Yep. All right, who's up?
Let me pass this to who hasn't gone yet.
Denman and Rod.
Denman and Rod. Okay, so let's do Rod. I picked Denman last time.
Whew, well, none of us defended our songs this time.
There was no
Wow.
defending mine. Just I was not even going to attempt to.
Mine's so good.
That's just that was my subjective thing.
Mine is no undoubtedly the greatest song in this group. There's not even a song close to fucking Silent City in this group. But anyway, let me get that out of there. Not even
You're wrong.
close.
You're
Not
wrong.
even close. Not even close. But anyway, there are no greatest songs of all time in this list other than Silent Lucidity, but we'll move on. So, Chris, I have to go. Number one, I have to go with Call to Personality because when I heard that song, I just was like, what the fuck is this? I need to know what the fuck's going on here. That voice, his voice, Corey, whatever his name is.
Corey Glover.
Yeah. That
Glover,
voice.
Glover, yeah. Corey Glover.
And the runs they do with the bass player does the run, the music in that song and the drum, just amazing. And the solo, I hate it and I love it because there's parts I like in it. He does some weird, crazy sound stuff, whammy bar stuff. But what I liked about that solo is he didn't just come off and do the same fucking 80s Eddie Van Halen bullshit. He went into his own way, like it or not. He did his own thing. So good for him, good or bad.
Well,
some of it, some of it gets a little weird, but a little wanky for me too. But give kudos for doing your own thing. I got to give him credit.
Doing your own thing. No doubt, no doubt.
That song, when I heard that vocals and I heard that, and I saw them, and this was what year was that this came out?
Anybody?
788, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
80s.
Where they were at the Syria Mosque basement in the ballroom. Is that where you saw him, Rod?
I never saw him. I never saw him.
No, I thought you saw him. I saw him.
It was released in July of '88.
July of '88. So,
thank you. That's our crack staff there working on stuff.
Thank you. We got a staff right now. They're not even behind the scenes. They're on the scene.
That's our research staff getting on that.
So, but
home office in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Right, he's there. Why he's wearing a suit.
Yeah, they don't pay me for nothing.
They don't
pay you nothing.
They don't pay you nothing, do they, right?
So that's my number one. Number two, I gotta go with Pennywise. Obviously, I just have to go. I have to go there.
Obviously.
Obviously. Now, I'm not. And Simon and Garfunkel, something about the recording. It was very cool and nice and stuff. Pennywise has some of the worst sounding fucking recordings I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Live, it's wonderful, but some of their recordings are just fucking dog shit, and it drives me crazy listening to that shit. So I hunt out live shit from them all the time, but that song, even though it sounds like shit on the recording, it's still a crazy great song. Anyway, now here 3, I would put Toy Soldier, but this is the song that I've probably went and listened to a little bit more. Like I was like, oh, I want to hear that song again. Like I think it falls into that thing of I haven't heard it a lot, but I think if I had heard this song for 20 fucking years, or whatever, I think it would be different. I think I would feel about it differently. And then that leaves us with, just like Kevin, just because I really like the original version, I actually really like this version. It reminds me a lot of Grant Lee Buffalo. I don't know if you've ever heard of Grant Lee Buffalo, but it's like that style, and the way the snare and everything sound. I mean, it's
here
done.
Goes drums.
This song sounds good though. It has like a distant sound to the drums, or like there's a towel laying over them, the snare, and it's like it's produced really well and stuff. So, but like the song. Yeah, it just I had that rich thing. As it went on, I'm kind of like, I want to hear the original. I like this, but like I'd have to be I
liked their interpretation. When people redo songs, they tend to do them. They don't tend to take them in a different direction.
Yes.
They tend to do them in a similar fashion as the original. And
Yeah.
the thing I really enjoyed about it, and I knew this would come in fourth. The point that I was trying to make was that when you remake a song, you can take it and you can do it differently.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's a
where
great
you have
cover.
to, yeah. So I think
Yeah.
that's the reason I thought it was a great interpretation of a great song.
Yep.
Do I think the Cure version's better? I think the Cure version's better. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I do. I do agree. But what I was trying to produce is I wanted to pick a song that was a good interpretation of a great song. That's what I was choosing, and that's why I chose that song.
All right, I'll shoot at the Den Man then, I guess, right?
Cool. Thank you. So when he was talking about a good interpretation, it made me think of the Green Mantle Ishi by Judas Priest.
Yes.
And they covered, obviously, Fleetwood Mac. But, man, do I love Judas Priest version of that. Like, I think that's just phenomenal.
Again,
and not that,
in a completely direction.
yeah, and not that the Fleetwood Mac one is bad. That's a very good song. But, yeah, I just love the way Judas Priest did it. And I am along with Rod. Like, as soon as I heard Call to Personality, it just blew my mind because it was so different. I'm an '80s metalhead, but this was just a little bit different. It wasn't the same. Turbo Lover. Oh,
Turbo Lover.
Rod, you're gonna.
I had to write that shit backwards. That wasn't easy. I had to write that backwards. Sorry, Den Man, to cut in your segment, but that was fucking hard.
I knew it right away, though. I knew it. The worst song, just so you know, the worst song on that album is Parental Guidance. That
We
to me
don't
is
need no parental guidance.
at that time they were in their 40s, I think, going on 50, and they're singing
I
about.
think they were already in their 60s by then. I think they're in their 90s right now, aren't they?
In their 90s by now.
But yeah, that was kind of a joke.
Sorry, Den
Anyway,
Man. Sorry to
that's
knock you
okay.
off track.
You will be surprised, but I think Rich kind of redeemed himself here. I really liked Bro Him by Pennywise. And I love Silent Lucidity too. Silent Lucidity is just classic. I mean, I love Queensryche, and they have a special place in my heart, and I love them. But this Bro Hymn took me off guard. I had not heard it before, and I was pretty surprised by it, and I really liked it. So my number one would be Bro Hymn. Silent Lucidity would be 1B, like we mentioned before. I would have to go Toy Soldier next, and like everyone else, I would prefer the Cure version of Just Like Heaven. But I get where you came from, Chris, when you said it's a different interpretation, and that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was my main point with this song. With that song. That's all. I knew it would come in. I didn't think that it had any shot of winning. That wasn't the goal. I just wanted you guys to literally. I just wanted you guys to hear that version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because it's a great tune. I like the Cure's version. Cure's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a reason.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, what are the results?
the results are Just Like Heaven received no top 2 votes. Toy Soldier received 1 second place vote. Silent Lucidity received 3 second place votes, The Eternal Bridesmaid. Cult of Personality received 2 first place votes, and Bro Hymn received 3 first place votes and a second place vote.
Nice.
Boom.
So overwhelmingly, I think Bro Hymn takes this.
Yep.
It's a shocker.
You won one!
You did it.
Won. Without Johnny Cash.
Wow.
Wow. Boy, we got a fucked up list now, don't we?
Yeah, speaking of Johnny Cash, it should be about time to decide who our first champion is.
Yes.
Wow.
So this will be, until dethroned, the greatest song of all time.
Yes. And
Okay.
we thought, I initially was like we should give it a week to listen to it. And then Rich pointed out to me, we've already listened to all of these songs. You need to think about them at this point.
Yeah.
So our inaugural championship match consists of "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong, "Folsom Prison Blues" by Johnny Cash, "The Rubber Band Man" by the Spinners, "Seek and Destroy" by Metallica, "Brohim" by Pennywise, and "The Sounds of Silence" by Simon and Garfunkel. Okay.
What a wonderful world.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
One.
I can give you my opinion real quick. If you just
There you go.
I'm giving you the answer real quick.
Yeah.
What a wonderful world, number one.
If you need any, like, I have it on a cassette tape and a compact disc.
Nice.
If the 17-year-old owns it on two forms of media that are no longer, like, produced widespread, I think that's a testament to how just good the song is.
It's a wonderful world, isn't it?
Yeah. And the argument for Folsom Prison Blues that came up during that show was that it was the most thematically coherent song ever. Right? Like, it has this sound of this train that's passing by. I think What a Wonderful World, even, like, a little below the surface, has that thematic coherence. Because it's about the simplicity and the beauty in life, and it's not a complex song. It doesn't have these deep ingrained levels of music, of violins and cellos and basses and guitars and pianos and all of these billions of things. It's, for all intents and purposes, just really his voice. And that's the highlight, that's the centerpiece of the song.
Okay, so you're picking, that would be your pick out of the group, not being able to pick something you originally nominated.
Should we do that, though? Because, I mean, really, considering this, we've all agreed, whether by coercion or decision.
By coercion.
By coercion or decision.
By
right?
gunpoint. So, Jesus, don't get you, boy.
No, by that I mean, like, I didn't want Seek and Destroy, and you all pushed for Seek and Destroy, so Seek and Destroy ended up here. But, like, it's safe to assume that as a group, we all voted for Seek and Destroy to be in this mix.
So this one's just...
Yeah.
So why don't you give like top 2 or 3?
All right, so we'll do top 3.
3.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. This is tough.
So I will go, give me a second. Okay. As I've established, my number one is What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. It's just so good. I really enjoy it. It's beautiful. It's simple. My number 2 would have to be The Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. It's just there's something about the lyrics I really enjoy, and like the idea that at the beginning, like, he's blinded by this flash of neon light, and at the very end, he's talking about how everybody else has begun to, like, bow and pray to this neon-centered god that they created. It wasn't a god, it was just something that they made up as perceived as a god. I really liked that statement, and lyrically it's fantastic, even though the mix is absolutely horrid. And then number 3, I'm going to go Folsom Prison Blues by the Man in Black. Like I said, thematic coherence, fantastic. I'm going to bounce it over to Rich.
All right. Can
you name all the songs just for a refresher?
What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Yeah. Here, hold on, it's in a different channel here in the Discord, this, like, championship match results.
It was What a Wonderful World, and then the next winner was Folsom Prison
Blues.
Folsom Prison Blues.
Then Rubber Band Man.
Yeah.
Seek and Destroy.
Destroy.
And then Brohim.
And Sound
of Silence.
Oh, okay, I got them all. I thought I was missing. All right, we're good.
Okay. Who was the two's turn? What? Oh, good. Silence. That'll be helpful.
That was the Sound of Silence.
Okay, so I'll do it then. I'll do it then.
All right, go ahead.
So, top 3. Sound of Silence, number 1. It's a Wonderful World, number 2. Number 3 would be difficult, but if we're allowed to go with our own songs, it would be Rubber Band Man.
All right.
I can go, I guess. I'm going number 1, What a Wonderful World, obviously.
Oh boy, I see what's happening.
Number 2, out of these songs, wow. I'm going to go 2 is Folsom Prison Blues. And then I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go Seek and Destroy.
You guys don't want to have a long conversation about that solo again, do you?
No, okay.
Which one?
Seek and Destroy.
You mean Aaron?
We already talked about
Living
Seek and
Color
Destroy
played
was
that.
last week. We're going to leave it in last week.
All right.
We sneaked it and Nate destroyed it, so it's over.
Well, clearly I didn't destroy it enough. It's here.
All right, I'll throw it to Den Man.
All right. So the show that Folsom Prison Blues got nominated or won, I was sleeping and dreaming about it, and I didn't get a chance to vote for it, but I would have. That to me is number 1 on this list. There's just something about it that's just iconic, and I know I use that word a lot, but man, the lyrics are just fantastic. And to me, it's classic and it's ageless, and it's just what a story, what a story he tells on that song. So that would be my number 1. And number 2 has to be for me, Seek and Destroy. I just love Metallica and I love that song, and and that does a lot for me. And number 3 would have to be What a Wonderful World. So those are my top 3.
Who's left? Rich, I guess.
Rich.
That's me.
Rich is left. Yep.
Well, I think number 1, it's What a Wonderful World. And then number 2 is Folsom Prison Blues by the slightest of margins. Like if it's a sports contest, it was a last minute shot that got the win. It really
It was a buzzer beater.
It really was. And at this point, number 3 doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what is it? Bro him.
Just out of
Fucking
curiosity.
say it. Bro him.
It would be Bro Him, but that's yeah. I love that song.
All right. So the only song to finish in the top 3 for everybody was What a Wonderful World.
Yes.
Honestly, looking at all of this, it's a lot more spread out than I thought it would be. I figured it would be 5 first places for What a Wonderful World, and then everything else would be scattered across. But there's a first place for Sound of Silence, a first place for Folsom Prison Blues. It's a lot more scattered than I thought it would be.
I agree.
But either way, it's still What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong as your inaugural champion. And as it currently stands, the greatest song of all time.
Oh, well done. That was a good radio.
Yeah, definitely.
Got to do 2 takes on that.
Yeah, there we go. Applause. Give him the clap. Give him the clap.
Give him the clap.
I feel like that's how we should have ended the show. We still have a good bit to do.
You can redo that later.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
Yeah, we'll fix it in the mix.
We'll fix it in post, right? Or whatever.
Yeah. Put a little compression on there, a little EQ, you'll be fine. You'll fix it right up.
It'll work out.
All right, so speed rounds.
Speed
round. Oh, go. What?
Can I go first? I have a speed round.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. The greatest entrance music for a professional wrestler.
Oh,
Ric Flair. Ric Flair's, whatever that is.
Ric Flair.
It doesn't matter what the fucking song is. Ric Flair's entrance.
Woo!
Woo!
Ric Flair. Is it just the song or is the whole entrance?
It can be a bit of both. We'll say a bit of both.
Then Orange Cassidy's entrance, Jane.
Ooh, by Jefferson Starship.
By Jefferson.
You're wrong.
Does anybody else in here other than Nate know who Orange Cassidy is?
We old motherfuckers, we don't know that shit.
I can give you my answer.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an older one. The Game, Triple H.
That was
By
a great
Motorhead.
entrance.
Good one. That was a great
entrance. Great
The
entrance.
little multicolored lights in the corner.
I don't know. For me, the most theatrical one that all never particularly liked the wrestler. I mean, I think it's good wrestler is The Undertaker. Just love
Yeah.
that whole.
He had a few different ones.
Yeah, that was that was to me that's iconic. Just the whole stare, Paul Bearer and yeah.
Put his eyes up in his...
that would be mine. Yeah.
Okay, Den Man, what you got?
You guys do know that I think it was 2011 maybe when CM Punk came back.
Yeah.
He did come out to the Cult of Personality.
Cult of Personality with CM.
Right.
He did. But that's not my favorite.
Considered one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah.
It could
That's
be.
what I heard. Yeah.
In the running. It was in the running.
It was in the running for a little bit.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a hard one.
Joy Division did.
Yeah,
No
it's
wrestler
not-
ever came out to Joy Division.
Yeah. I know this is going to suck, maybe. But remember Stone Cold? I won't do what you tell me.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's got to be my top one right there.
This is the weird one. It wasn't when George the Animal Steel come out and it's fucking bite the turnbuckle and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it really wasn't music and all that shit wasn't happening yet, but that was that was cool.
Yeah.
He going and like Mr. Fuji and spitting that green shit in the sky. Like there was some weird. Yeah, that's old school shit there, though.
Old school, definitely. We
I
used to
remember-
do the Mr. Fuji, Mr. Saito thing when we'd leave with my grandmother's on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's how Rod and I said goodbye. We'd do the
Yeah.
Jeez.
it was
We were fucking idiots. Not much has changed.
because if it was summertime, we generally had just finished a couple rounds of World Water Wrestling Federation
That's
matches.
right.
That's true.
All right, what's the next speed round?
All right, who's got another speed round?
Chris has one.
Okay, so mine is. This doesn't. I'm sorry, Nate. You're gonna probably not get.
I figure.
You weren't alive in the '80s, so let's think. What song from the '80s for you guys are you surprised still plays on the radio?
Oh, Nate might have some for that one.
I have a cassette for it.
We just got rickrolled.
Rick Ashley.
We just got rickrolled.
Thanks for Dave Grohl to keeping him relevant. Thanks,
You
Dave.
know.
Hey, he never let me down.
Yeah, he never gave me up.
Thank you. Thanks for the assist.
Idiots.
Call me Nikola Jokic.
My God.
Wow, I don't listen to the radio, so let me think about this one. 80s song.
An 80s song that I'm surprised is still around.
Yeah, still made it out of the '80s and still gets played.
What if it got like a revival recently from some form of media?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so the entire Stranger Things soundtrack.
No, Stranger Things has picked great songs to go with what
You're
they're
right.
doing.
Stranger Things has picked great songs.
What I'm saying is like the song that like, fuck, that should have never made it out of the '80s. That should that should be in a time capsule. Yes, we listened to that. Why we don't know, but yeah, we don't listen. It's like how did it creep out of the '80s?
I got one that I hear. It's Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
That's
I'm thinking
like song, and it's not. I don't think it's a bad song. I mean, I sing along with it, but it is one where I'm like, how did this one? Why is this one still being played someplace?
I have one as somebody who wasn't even alive in the 80s, like a legitimate one. Every Breath You Take by the Police.
Oh, that one's not. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a big tune. That's
That
a
was
number
a-
one song.
That's a big.
But it's not
that's a-
good.
That's a big boring ass song.
I'm not saying whether it's not as good or not. That's a. What I'm talking about is more like an obscure song that was played a lot in the '80s. That just like
I got one.
like nobody's like, oh shit, why is that still being played? Almost like Dexter's Midnight Runners, Come on, Eileen.
that's a good song.
Yeah,
That one makes 100% sense.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Once in a while, this song creeps up, and I think it's a cool song. And I think it was on a commercial within so many years. And I like this song. Was weird. Was Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant. I'm surprised anyone even liked that song. Like I thought it was cool.
I like this song. I like the video. I like when he walks off into the water. That one plays at weddings all the time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say that or a fucking Madonna song. Any Madonna song,
People love her, and I don't get it.
I don't either, man.
Neither do I.
I don't get it.
Same with Springsteen. I don't get it.
Yeah,
All right. I can. What's that?
I don't get Springsteen completely.
I don't. I never thought he was a good singer.
There's a couple of songs that I like by him, and it's like the Tunnel of Love. I enjoy that song for some reason. I don't know why. I just like that Tunnel of Love song. I think it's a little bit to do with the solo, maybe. Then I actually like the Clark's version of the one song they do much better than his version. But there's very few Springsteen songs that's like, ooh, that's something else. Just
You got to get more coffee.
That makes sense.
yes.
All right, Rich. What did you come up with? I didn't miss something. Or Dead Man.
I can go. There's a couple. But I'll say number 2 would have been "Love Is a Battlefield" by Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar is awesome.
Every once in a while you hear that. But the one that just gets me is that Tiffany song. I think we're alone now. Like, what the hell?
And
Yeah.
and just so you know, she is still to this day touring because of that. She is still on the road making money. She plays concerts more than unbelievable.
More than killing me.
I remember the big debate between who was better, Tiffany or Debbie Gibson.
And Debbie Gibson is still constantly on the road touring. She's still a working musician, and yes, it's amazing.
And they were both in Playboy.
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day.
Not now.
Not now.
Is it bad that I know what it is, but is it bad that my first instinct was to go, "What's a Playboy?" And I honestly think all of you would have believed that I didn't know what it was.
No. I get it. Trust me. Because Nate, I'm telling you, I get where you guys are at in this world. Okay, like the sound of a VHS tape or a cassette tape being ejected from a cassette player or a freaking VCR. Those are alien sounds to you guys. Just like the sound of dial-up. No. You don't. Those things don't connect with you. I saw I saw this little baby with a magazine in front of them, right? And they're touching it, right? And like, what the fuck's this baby doing? Why is he just going like this on a thing, not flipping through the pages? Mom takes away the magazine, puts an iPad in front of them. It's there, it's just there. So, All right, Rich, what was yours? What was yours?
Oh, Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell.
Somebody's watching. What was yours, Nate?
Like I said, it's got to be Every Breath You Take. Mainly it's because I don't get it.
Okay, so Rod, what was yours?
What was mine? Oh, Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue.
Eddie
Dan, man, what was
Grant.
yours?
Tiffany. I
Tiffany.
think we're
Okay.
alone now.
So mine is it was a crazy little band out of England that had two songs that I really fucking enjoyed in the 80s. But the first song was One Step Beyond, but
Madness.
that's not the song that I'm talking. Madness, yes. But the
Madness.
song that amazes me is Our House.
Our
That's
house.
it plays on the radio.
Yeah, it's a
I
big
love
one.
it. It's like,
Really?
oh, wow, that really surprises me. Just really does.
Holy crap.
Like One Step Beyond. That's because whenever I hear our house, the first thing I think of is one. Da, 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 there's no other words. The entire song, they're
Yes.
just dancing the things. Go one step beyond. That's just
Is that where
it.
ska came from? Was it from Madness? Is that
Okay,
where
hold
ska
on.
I think you're right.
That's very very possible.
Hold
You know
on.
what song I'm talking about? Our house.
It actually is. You guys are like being jackasses and you're truth.
I'm serious. I think that's where it started, isn't it?
I
Madness.
Mike?
think you're right.
Madness is one of the many bands in the long line of the development of ska. Just
Yeah.
like specials back then. You remember the specials? Ghost Town. This town is coming like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Yep.
For that, you got like Roy Ellis and the Agrolites, right, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay, here's one that's going to get you. If you're like surprised that song's still around, a couple years ago, we had something here in Las Vegas called COVID. I don't know if you guys had it,
Nope, not here.
but we
Never
had
heard
it,
of it.
and it canceled. It canceled punk rock bowling one year, and the head
No.
Sunday night of punk rock bowling that year was Madness.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
They were the headliner band on one of the days. Yeah.
Who else was
Holy
there that
shit.
year? It was like I
I
think it
would
was like
love
the
to.
Circle Jerks
for
and
me-
Devo.
Yeah, that was that. I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks now. Which songs? It's like because there's a number of songs that surprise me that there's that's like it's like I wear my sunglasses at night.
Oh God.
It's
Oh
like
my God.
it's like I can't believe that song
Oh,
is still
my
being
God.
played. You know,
No.
as big as Men at Work were,
Oh yes.
okay, you would expect to hear their two top tunes. What was it?
Land down under.
stuff like that. Land Down Under.
And who can it be now?
Would you believe that still gets played? What's that song that says Johnny? Be good, be good, be good,
Oh,
be good, be good,
yeah.
be good, be good, be good, Johnny. I can't. I still hear that song get played. You
You
know?
need a new radio station.
No. No, I
Have
listen
you
to
tried
Florida
107.5?
Guys, turn the little dial thing.
and 96.9 Bob FM. They
Stop
I
it.
literally
Stop
like it's crazy. And
Don't you
then
have
That's
I
crazy.
something now?
I
Jeez.
get
Well,
Oh,
Amazon. Pennsylvania's always behind on everything. We're still playing that shit on the fucking radio here, for fuck's sake.
so I guess for the last one,
Wow.
I would have to, and it just it completely boggles my mind that this song was even wrote in the first place. It's called Mexican Radio.
Mexican radio. Okay,
That's a great song.
Wait a
There's-
minute now,
there's
dude.
there's a
Come on.
band called
Radio.
Authority Zero. There's a
In the
punk
video,
band
they're
that did a
freaking
cover of
frying
it. It's phenomenal.
Huh?
There's
What?
a punk band called Authority Zero that did a cover of
Hopefully they
Mexican
do it
radio.
better than the original.
Oh, it's miles better than the original. It is
Okay.
fantastic. I will send
Yeah.
a
Oh,
link to
dude,
it later.
man. Come on.
Because I was
dude.
like, I'm on the Mexican
Mexican
radio.
That's a great.
Do, 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 do.
That's
Mexican
I'm gonna eat that one
radio.
this week, and now I'm
I was going to nominate that one. Damn it.
yeah.
Hey, what's stopping
It
you? Nothing.
surprises me that song got out of the 80s. That's all. It just
Listen.
does.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Did
There's
you
a
just
lot worse. There's a lot worse songs from out of the
Hey.
80s.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
lot
there's a
worse
lot worse.
songs.
But that song surprises me that it got out of the 80s. It just really does. Okay.
All right.
So
All
what are
right.
you moving on to next week?
All right. So nominations for next week.
Oh shit! Let me look at my list.
Who should we have go last this week?
Well, since What a Wonderful World's the top one, it should be Rod.
That's what I was
Thank you.
thinking. But
Thank you.
I just
Plus
wanted to
he-
make sure with the rest of the group.
Look at his chart and graphs to find out what he's supposed to be doing.
I have a couple songs, but I can only nominate one at a time. So go ahead.
Right, one at a time.
All right. Who wants to start?
I'll
I'll-
start.
Okay.
Since none of my songs were even remotely towards the top, I'm kind of so I'm gonna follow in my rant about subjectivity versus popularity. And I think there's a song that kind of sums it up, and I know I'm going to get a lot of groans with this one, but it speaks to the fact that sometimes the greatest song in the world is never heard. It's there, somebody wrote it, right? But you're never going to hear it.
Are you about to nominate Rudd Wilkins and the LOC band song?
I am not. But this is actually in honor of those songs and everybody else's songs that writes songs that are great songs that we're never going to hear.
Right
Okay?
here.
That's
You're right.
That's the point of this of me nominating this song is the fact that we probably never ever, none of us are ever going to actually hear the greatest song that has ever been written. It's just we're never going to hear it because it's never going to be presented in front of us.
Tenacious D thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god!
I figured the tribute. Yes. I had
the
a feeling.
greatest song in the world because he could, had to write the best song in the world and put on a spot. Guess what? He does, but he can't remember. He can't remember the greatest song in the world. He can't remember it, so he has to write a tribute to it.
You realize I was literally going to nominate that this week. Like that was
Really?
Yeah, I was genuinely considering nominating it.
Look at Rod.
Oh my god!
Like I've always said, if this
Fuckers
show
have lost your fucking mind. What the fuck?
Okay,
What room
okay.
am I in?
Hear me
Hello?
out.
Who the fuck's in there? Who the fuck are you people?
Think about it.
What the fuck are we doing here?
If this show had like a theme song that we played at the intro of every episode, it's Tribute by Tenacious
is.
D.
It would definitely be tribute by
Motherfucking no!
It starts
No!
with the line, "This is the greatest and best
Greatest
song in
song.
the world."
right. Exactly.
Oh,
it
dear
makes-
God,
gets
yes.
it. Nate
makes
gets
it for a cute. It makes for
Yeah.
a cute theme song. So we'll move on till next week and see what happens.
I love
Oh,
that pick. That is
gosh,
an
holy
awesome pick.
shit.
Oh boy.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
All right, bounce it to somebody.
It speaks for itself. It's just it just
Oh yes, it does.
Listen-
Yes, it does.
listen to the lyrics and the whole breakdown. The whole breakdown.
Can
Just
your little Louis Armstrong match the
Oh,
lyrical
we be
complexity
men.
of Fligu Gigu? I didn't think so.
yeah, it's just
Wow.
it's
Oh my
speaks
gosh!
volumes. It's exactly what we're trying to.
Oh, that's yeah.
Basically to set fact that we're never going to hear the greatest song ever. It's just never. All we can do is have a tribute to it. Let's have a tribute to the greatest song that we will
That
never
is-
ever hear.
That
I
is a
agree.
pick.
Raise
Yep.
your hurting up.
That's
Right
what
here.
makes a great song, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. A song
Right there.
about we're never going to hear a great song makes for a great song for a great song. That's a great song idea.
Yep.
All right, bounce it to somebody else.
Please pass it. Please pass
let me
it.
go. Since I stole your thunder there, Nate, I'm passing it to you.
All right. I actually have 2 nominations for this week because I forgot about this until it was, and I saw the thing behind my computer. You know how I nominated for Chris number 2 from Anti-Flag, right?
Okay.
After I got to meet him at the Punk Rock Museum. Well, over Punk Rock Bowling weekend, I went to a book signing and I met Greg Graffin from Bad Religion. And so I had to ask him very, very quickly, and whether it was as a joke or not, he said it. So Greg Graffin unknowingly nominates Fuck Armageddon, This Is Hell by Bad Religion.
All right, then.
Can I say something that's going to play onto the whole tribute thing?
Yeah.
He did say that it's very hard for a songwriter to nominate the greatest song of all time.
His the first thing he said was,
First
any
reaction.
songwriter worth their salt knows that question is impossible to answer.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, we all kind of knew that. And then
Not a songwriter.
Makes for an entertaining show.
Yeah. But my actual nomination for this week, at Punk Rock Bowling, Bad Religion was performing, and they played a song called Epiphany. Now, I realized that I myself had an epiphany this past week, because I looked at I was talking with somebody, I looked at all my former nominations, and I realized that, like, Toy Soldier, it's a great song. Like, Fear Release, it's a great song. I'm getting way too cute with this. I found a YouTube playlist that I had from like 3 years ago that had 4 songs on it that was labeled the greatest songs of all time contenders. And one of those 4 songs was What a Wonderful World. The other 3 haven't been nominated yet. So that I intend those 3 songs will be my next 3 weeks. The first one, I'm going to go. So I listened to those 3 and I picked the one that spoke to me. Could you imagine meeting your ex in a bar? How awkward that must be and how many emotions you might have to go through. Now imagine the band, like you were in a band and the entire band is sitting right there. Any good musician takes that experience and decides, I'm going to write a song about it. This week, I'm nominating the, in my opinion, very overlooked but phenomenal Sometime Around Midnight by the Airborne Toxic Event.
That is a great song. Nope. Rod's like, don't know it.
I don't even know it. Never even heard of it.
Fantastic. It's one of those few, like, it doesn't have a chorus. But it keeps building, and it just, there are some beautiful lines, especially later.
Hey Rod, I wonder if it's got one of those solos that completely changes the tempo.
Yeah,
of the song.
Yeah, it has one of those solos that it feels disconnected from the entire song.
Is there a violin in this song? You got a violin solo?
Oh, there are tons of violins.
Violins.
The violin's like a really featured part of it. I love it.
Cool.
Great band too. Great band. Airborne Toxic Event.
Yeah. Since Denman's muted for right now, I'm going to bounce it over to Rich.
I was listening to something, but go ahead.
All right. I'll bounce it over to Denman then.
Okay. All right. So I thought about this, and one of the songs that came out in the early 90s that really changed things for me too was Cemetery Gates by Pantera. Now, I don't know if so the song, it's like there's this, it just goes right into the song and that main riff, but there's an intro to it as well. So if you can catch that, if I find that video, I'll put it on our channel here. But with that intro and everything, I really do think that's a great song. And that's one of those changed music songs. Like, if you remember, that's right around the time that grunge was starting to really take off. And this was considered, I guess, new metal at the time. And they were very much influenced by Faith No More. In fact, a lot of bands give credit to Faith No More for starting that new metal kind of genre. But Cemetery Gates to me is just phenomenal. Love it. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I saw them in a club in Lawton, Oklahoma. 91. And
yeah, that's right around the time it came out.
And they hadn't hit it big yet. And or like who the fuck's Pantera is basically was the question. All right, let's go see. Well, whatever. You know, it was a bar that we frequented. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy fuck, who the fuck are these guys? How come I've never heard of these guys before? They really weren't really known outside of Texas and Oklahoma, and that's where they played, you know. And they were like, I personally didn't get to sit down and talk with them, but I was in the group that was sitting around as they're fucking down in fucking beer and shots and all kinds of shit after the fucking show.
Nice.
And it was an experience, and I'm like, I'd never now Cemetery. Okay, I'm not gonna go into that, you know, Cemetery Gates, whatever. But there was a game-changing guitarist.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Okay. You know, Dimebag Darrell was a game-changing guitarist, and I was living in Ohio whenever I was literally like a half an hour. I was living in Cleveland at the time that he got shot and killed. I considered going to that Damage Plan show, but yeah, I was gonna go. I was gonna be there because I'm a huge Pantera fan, and I know they didn't play any. The reason I didn't go because I knew they weren't going to play any Pantera songs, so I wasn't a huge fan of Damage Plan. I was, you know,
right,
but Pantera I was for sure. I have a whole list of songs from Pantera that and I'm going to go see him with Mr. Wild and Mr. Bianchi. And I'm gonna whenever they pop around to Pittsburgh, I'm gonna be there for sure.
Very cool.
Okay, sir. Awesome pick.
Thank you.
All right,
That's me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm nominating a song that obviously this past weekend for us.
Think about this. Think long and hard about this.
I am.
I know he picked Brohim, and Brohim was well received, so he's on his way to redemption. I think he may be there.
If Folsom Prison got a lot of votes in the final.
Yeah, that probably would have finished second if we would have done everything like, you know, looking at it.
Yeah, I we'll see how this goes.
Here we go.
I'm just warning you. Just warning you.
Can he whiff it again, ladies and gentlemen?
Nothing. I'm like that guy in what's that?
Swing and a miss.
What was that? Cornelius.
Just a bit outside.
Okay, so this past weekend was punk rock bowling. Nate and I'd just like to say, you got to come out and come sometime. 42 bands, 3 days, over 90 degrees every day. It was great.
The downside, our laundry room currently smells like marijuana.
Yes,
next summer I will be out there.
Nice. Memorial Day weekend. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could be mad. Though.
It could be madness. Could be Devo headlined last year.
Devo headlined one night last year.
Wow.
I've been wanting to get to Vegas, so I will come.
So this is a song that we heard over the weekend. I've been torturing Nate now for about 48 hours. It's a song that we've heard over the weekend. It's a song we heard on the third day.
Okay, I know what it is now.
I think it's a great hardcore song. It's a great punk song, even though this band doesn't really get along with the punk rockers, like he said on stage. This is one of the greatest songs. This is possibly the greatest song of all time because it's simply what rock and roll is supposed to be. Because all he wanted was a fucking Pepsi, and she would give him a Pepsi.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Fighting suicidal tendencies.
Yes.
That's a great
Love
song.
That pick.
That's a good pick, dude.
That is spoken word poetry at its best.
No doubt.
Robert
Oh my
Trujillo's
God, this is the hardest
band.
round, I think.
Yeah.
What? Robert Trujillo's first band, and the guitar player wears a Pittsburgh Pirates hat.
Yep.
It does.
Does he still wear the pirate hat?
No, nobody wearing a pirate hat.
Nobody wearing a
the
pirate hat?
guitar player.
No,
Was
I
he
don't think
black?
No, was it? No, wait a minute.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. No, he was wearing the.
He was black,
yeah, light skinned black guy. He's really great guitar player. Dude's freaking awesome.
Wow.
Good pick.
Wow.
And
Very good pick.
And they were awesome.
shocked.
They were awesome on Thursday night.
Were they? Cool.
They played their self-titled album. They played all of that stuff. It was amazing.
Mike
Were they
Muir,
headlining?
right?
No, the
Mike
headline
Muir, right?
Dropkick Murphys.
That's right. Oh, I like Dropkick Murphys.
The lead singer's name is Mike Muir, right? M-U-I-R. Yeah.
M-U-I-R. Yeah.
Yep. Was he wearing his